Hello everyone, I'm Syed Ahmed. In today's session, we see the second example of SVM. So let's quickly revise what were the steps to solve any numerical in SVM. First step is what? First step, you have to draw the all the points that you have and find support vector out of it, right? Second step, what you have to do? In second step, you have to convert your 2D into 3D form. Means what, you have to just add bias to your support vectors, right? And third step was taking parameters for each and every support vector. There into previous lecture we have taken alpha, right? And then next is what, forming the linear equations for all the for all the support vectors, right? If you have two support vectors, you'll be having two equations and you'll be having two parameters. If you have three support vectors, you'll be having three equations and you'll be finding total three parameters, right? And after finding after forming the linear equations, you will be finding the value of alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, right? And then the next step is what, finding the W bar. What's the formula of W bar? It's summation of all alphas with their support vectors, right? And finally we'll be getting W bar. Three values will be getting. First two values will represent orientation of your orientation of your hyperplane, and third value is bias. According to the value of it, we will draw the hyperplane, right? So let's see this example. This question has been asked many times into question paper of Mumbai University. So the question is, find optimal hyperplane for the set of data points. We have been asked to find what, maximum margin hyperplane or optimal hyperplane, and these are the points that are given to you. The first step that you have to do is draw this into 2D form. Draw all the points into 2D form. Please don't solve it directly. You have to write it so as to understand what are the two different classes here, right? Data set, we have just written all the data set that are there into the program, that are there into your problem definition. And if you see 1, 1 and we have seen 2, 1, all the points that are there I have just drawn here. See it carefully. You have to clearly see what are the two classes that are forming here. If you see it carefully, we have this 4 points into one class and these 4 points into another class, right? So of course one will be negative, one will be positive. That's up to you. Whatever you want to consider, like for if you're considering this as negative, you have to consider this as positive. If you're considering this as positive, you have to consider this as negative, right? Now coming to the next thing, when you know that these are two classes, what's the next thing that you have to find? Support vectors, right? What are the points which are dividing these two classes? We see here they are into one line. I'm talking about the left hand side. So this point is there and this point is there, right? From this class you will be having two support vectors. For example, I'm considering this as S1, I'm considering this as S2. Now see, from this class, this point is there which is closest to this, right? And we have these 2 points and 6, they are far. So from this side we will be having only one support vector, right? If we have something here or somewhere else, that will be considered as vector, right? So we got the support vectors. How many support vectors we have? 3 support vectors we have. For example, I'm considering this side as negative and this side as what? Positive, right? So ultimately into this equation we'll be having -1 and here it will be having what? +1. So we got the support vectors. So let's just simply write support vectors here. S1 as what is my S1? It's 2, 1, right? And S2 is 2, -1, and S3 we have, S3 is my this class support vector, that is 4, 0, right? What's the next step we have to do? Step 2, what we have to do? After finding support vectors, we have to add bias. What's the bias value that we add? Always we will be going with one value. We have added 1, 1, 1. That becomes into 3D now, right? So what's the step 3? Taking parameters for each and every support vector. Again, I'm going with alpha values. Now we have 3 support vectors. Into the last lecture, we have how many? 3. There were only 2 support vectors, right? Those who are watching it directly this lecture, please I request you to go to my previous 2 lectures where I have explaining about SVM and I have explained one numerical, basic numerical, and this is somewhat tougher, right? So first learn that thing and come back to this. So step 3 will be finding alphas. I'll be taking alpha 1 for support vector 1. I'll be taking alpha 2 for support vector 2. I'll be taking alpha 3 for support vector 3, right? Done with the third step, right? Now forming the equation, that is very important. Let's form the equation. If you remember, step 4, finding or forming the equation. Linear equations we have, right? Now how to find it? We'll be finding with respect to S1, with S2 and with S3. How many linear equations we'll be having? We'll be having 3 linear equations, and out of using those 3 linear equations, we will be finding the value of alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3. If you have 5 support vectors, for example, so how many equations you will be having? You will be having 5 support vectors, you will be having 5 alphas, and you will be having 5 linear equations. They you will be finding the value of alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, alpha 4, alpha 5. Clear with this? Normally they will be going with 2 support vectors or 3 support vectors into exam, right? They won't be making it too much complicated. Let's form using S1. Remember the trick that I told you? You just have to simply write S1, 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 right? 3 times you will be writing it, as we have 3 support vectors. With first S1 you will be writing alpha 1 S1 dot, right? Then you will be having plus sign, and with second one you will be writing alpha 2 S2 dot, plus with third one you will be writing alpha 3 S3 dot, equals to, what is this side? Minus side, right? We'll be having what? Minus 1 here. Done with the first linear equation. Now second linear equation with respect to S2 we will be finding. So what we have to write? We'll be writing S2, S2 and S2, right? With first S2 we will be writing what? Alpha 1 S1 dot, plus here for second alpha 2 S2 dot. With third one, what will be writing? Alpha 3 S3 dot, equals to, again our S2 support vector is again comes under what? Negative side. So this will be what? Minus 1 again. Fine. Now third thing, for third support vector, with third support vector again we will be writing 3 S3s first, right? And for first case it will be what? Alpha 1 S1 dot, plus alpha 2 S2 dot, plus alpha 3 S3 dot. Fine. Equals to what now? It's positive side, right? So it will be what? Plus 1. So that's step 4 we have done, forming the linear equation. What's the next step? Put the value of all S here. I will be simplify those steps, right? And find the value of alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3 using calculator. So we have got these 3 equations, right? And now we have S1, S2, S3, right? So we'll put the values of all these support vectors. So see here, alpha 1, what's the value of S1? 2, 1, 1, right? Again S1, 2, 1, 1. Alpha 2, S2, S1, what's the value of S2? 2 minus 1, 1. What is S1? 2, 1, 1. Alpha 3, S3 into S1 we have. Alpha 3 was the value of S3? 4, 0, 1 into what's S1? 2, 1, 1 equals to minus 1 we have here, right? Similarly for equation 2 and 3 I have put all the values, right? Now I'm just simplifying it. I will show you how to simplify this first equation. 2 into 2, 4, plus 1 into 1, 1, plus 1 into 1, 1, right? 4 plus 1 is how much? 6. 6 alpha 1 we got. Alpha 2, 2 into 2, 2 into 2, 4, minus 1, plus 1, right? So it's what? 4 minus 1 plus 1, 0. That is how much? 4. 4 alpha 2 we got here. 4 2s are 8. 0 into 1, 0. 1 into 1, 1. 8 plus 1 is how much? 9 alpha 3 we got, equals to minus 1. Similarly we got it for second and third equation, right? Now simplifying it, I told you how to simplify it. Go to mode, right? Mode into, like if you're using 911 ES calculator, mode may you have what? Fifth option, equation. Now see how many equations we have. 3 equations we have. So second option you have to select and put the value. What values will you be putting? You will be putting 6, 4, 9 minus 1, 4, 6, 9 minus 1, 9, 9, 17 plus 1. Fine, you'll be putting all these values, and ultimately you will be getting the values of alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, as alpha 1 will be minus 3.25, alpha 2 will be minus 3.25, alpha 3 is 3.5. Getting it? So that was your this step 4. What's the next step that you have to do? Next step is summation, finding the W bar, which is equals to what? Alpha i's into S of I. So we got the values of alpha. We have our support vectors here. So let's write the equation. First one is alpha 1 into S of 1. What is alpha 1? Minus 3.25 we have. What is S1? S1 is 2, 1, 1. Right? Plus we have alpha 2 into S2. What is alpha 2? Minus 3.25 again. And its S2 is what? 2 minus 1, 1. Right? Plus we have what? Alpha 3, that is 3.5, and what is S3? 4, 0, 1. So how to solve this? Minus 3.25 into 2 plus minus 3.5 2 minus 3.25 into 2 plus 3.5 into 4 you have to solve, right? And finally the value will be, you will be getting it as 1. For second you will be getting it as 0. For third you will be getting it as minus 3. Fine. So that is the equation of W bar. Remember what next step we have to do? First 2 is for W and third one is for B. So if you see your W will be what? W will be 1 comma 0 and B equals to minus 3 can be written as B plus 3 equals to 0. We have talked about this. W equals to 1, 0 means line's orientation will be what? Will it be horizontal or vertical? It will be vertical. If you're getting 0, 1 here, you will be the line will be what? Hyperplane will be what? It will be horizontal. If you're getting 1, 1, it will be at 45 degree, right? So here you got B plus 3 equals to 0. So here it is minus 3. Remember, where should we draw this line? At left hand side at minus 3 or at plus 3? It has to be at plus 3 side, right? If it's 3 or plus 3, then it will be what? At minus 3 side. Fine. So if you have 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, if I'm not wrong, here was our support vector, and here we were having S1 and S2, and here it was S3. So according to W bar, where should I draw a hyperplane? It will be going through 3 because the value of B is what? Minus 3. So we have to draw it at 3. And second important thing is the orientation of your hyperplane is what? 1, 0. It's vertical. So through 3 I will be drawing one vertical line, and that is the equation of what? Hyperplane. That completes your sum. I hope you got it. So that was the sum. Apart from it, I will be giving you 2 more numericals. You have to solve it. I will be finally telling you its W bar and how to draw its equation. Fine. So here are 2 numericals for you. Into first numerical, I just have taken support vectors directly. There are 3 support vectors we have: 1, 1, minus 1, 1, 0, 3. Fine. These 2 and this. If you see the question, you will be getting where your support vector will be, where your hyperplane will be coming, right? In this case, it will be through 2 and it will be a horizontal line. Fine. So I'm directly giving you the value of W bar. That the final answer that you will be getting is 0, 1, minus 2. 0, 1 is what? It's a horizontal line now, right? And I have written minus 2 here, right? The answer is what? Minus 2 for B. So minus 2 means what? It will be at plus side. So for example, if you have the same thing here, you have 2 points here, and the third support vector is at 0, 3. The answer will be what? 0, 1, 2. Fine. So you have to draw at minus 2. Getting this first example. Second numerical that you have to solve it, you will be having only two support vectors, s1 minus 1 minus 1 and your s2 as 1 1. Fine, you have one support vector here and second support vector here. If you see it, where should be your hyperplane? It should be passing through origin. Of course, it won't be vertical or horizontal. It will be at what, 45 degree, right? So solve this, you will be getting w at 0.5 and it will be through what, 0. It's not, 0 is not negative positive, right? So it will be through 0 only. So just simplify this equation. I'm dividing by 0.5, we'll be getting 1 1 0, right? So 1 1 is at 45 degrees Celsius and this will be the hyperplane. In this case, this will be the consider this as 2. So through 2 you will be having the hyperplane. I hope you got this a numerical based on SVM. If you have any doubt, please ask me and comment. Thank you.